we were terribly fearful at the time of the Red Scare, you know, that was going on. It was the Vietnam War was just beginning to heat up at that time, and we were terrified of communism around the world. The Soviet Union was very scary to us.
Yeah, I mean, I was, of course, I wasn't alive during that time, but when you look back at that stuff, it does seem like it was more sensationalism than an actual belief by people in the in administration. Do you disagree to that? Do you believe that that was actually a belief, or was it just propaganda to justify all sorts of nonsense?
Well, I can only speak for myself in that
Uh-huh.
regard, and I was fearful. My dad was he was a Republican. He was fearful, but there was good reason to a certain degree. I mean, Stalin was a terrible person. You know, he was a Hitler type person. He did terrible things. The Soviet Union was a scary country, and it had nuclear weapons. And Khrushchev was a pretty scary person many times. So there was real cause for fear, I think, there. And in terms of the Soviet Union, I don't think we really had that cause for fear in Latin America. And I went down in the Peace Corps in the late '60s, '68. Allende wasn't overthrown and died until a few years after that. I was down there at the time. I was there very shortly after Che Guevara was assassinated, was killed in Bolivia. I actually met the CIA agent who killed him, who was in charge of killing him, who ordered him killed, and actually ended up writing about it, Felix Rodriguez. I didn't think that communism was a threat to Latin America in any way. Most Latin Americans that I knew they much preferred the United States or the Soviet Union. They weren't interested in becoming a Soviet puppet, but they also weren't interested in becoming a U.S. puppet. And there was a lot of independence-minded things going on there. And throughout Latin America, there was a strong antithesis to what was going on in Vietnam. People thought, I kept hearing how much people resented the fact that the United States was involving itself in a Southeast Asian country. They didn't fall for our line of the domino effect. And so they were generally nervous in Latin America that the United States was trying to do something similar in Latin America. And in fact, we were. We were putting into place these right-wing dictators who were very, very strong advocates of American corporations, supported our oil companies, supported our copper extraction companies, supported our telecommunications companies and some of the big department stores and so on and so forth, and the big agribusinesses that were going in and taking out bananas and pineapples and shrimp and all kinds of other things. And Latin Americans were very leery about this.